Hi, my name is Justin Yomot, and welcome back to the CNT podcast. Today I have Shane McCarthy, a right-hand pitching prospect for the Cleveland Indians.
Hey, Justin, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. It really means a lot to me. Let's get right into these questions. Number one is, who is a player your game embraces?
Let's see. I think I look up to Shane Bieber, AL Cy Young last year with the Cleveland Indians, the whole Cleveland Indians staff, and my other teammates who have played with him in the past talk about who he is as a guy, as a teammate, and then also his performance speaks for himself. So if I could look up to one guy and be like one guy, Shane Bieber would definitely be it for me.
He is obviously a top tier pitcher in the league. He's very good. He's very fun to watch too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Brings a good energy, always throwing a ton of strikes, keeps the game moving, gets a lot of strikeouts, those things that everybody wants.
It's also cool is that he's with the same organization with you at the moment. As you, when you get called up, like you could be in the same rotation with him too. That's super
Exactly. I
cool.
mean, just getting to learn from guys like that who have that experience under their belt. If I were to be in the Indians rotation when he was there, I could definitely ask him a bunch of questions and learn from him. And, that'll help us both.
That's super cool. That's super cool. So, who is a player you hope to play with or against in your career?
I think playing against like some of the best players would be awesome. The Mike Trouts, the Mookie Betts, the Cody Bellingers of the world, like those guys, either facing them in the spring training game or facing them in the big leagues would be really great because, they're the best of the best. And when you get to put your stuff up against theirs and just be in that compete mode, see who's going to win the little battle between you, that would be awesome. Just getting an out from one of those guys would mean a lot to me. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I obviously everyone wants to be able to strike out Mike Trout. Obviously,
Yeah.
the best, and I think he's the best player currently. I think he'll go down as the best player. So everyone wants to play against him. Yeah, super
Yeah, I'm
cool.
sure you get that answer a lot.
Yeah. Who is a player who you think would be a great MLB player?
I have a lot of teammates that I think would be great MLB players. One that sticks out is my man Tyler Freeman, one of our infield prospects. I got to play with him in short season and then in 2019 in low A. And just the way he plays the game, like you can tell he's a really special player. He's always making like hard contact, makes all the plays in the field, plays with a lot of energy. And I think that's what a good like standout big leaguer needs are those three things. And he does a great job of those.
That's super cool. I'll have to keep a lookout for him.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you haven't heard of him already, maybe he'll come on your podcast sometime. He's a really personable guy, really cool guy. He's in big league camp right now for us.
That's super cool. That's super cool. Maybe he'll make the team sometime this
Yeah, I
year.
hope I hope so. Hope soon. He deserves it.
That's super cool. So what pitches do you throw?
My pitch arsenal is a four seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup.
That's super cool.
So
I
I
mean,
find myself throwing my fastball the most, I'd say, and then my slider. And I'm working on my changeup, throwing it more often. It's a pitch that's still developing for me. I'm not super confident with it yet, but I've gotten some good feedback from the Indians and from my teammates, especially my catchers. They say, "Hey, man, this pitch, it has a chance to be a pretty good pitch. Just keep throwing it and get those reps under your belt so you can really use it in some big spots in the game."
that's super cool. I was never really a pitcher when I played, but from my MLB The Show experience, the changeups are game changers.
Oh yeah, I mean, everyone says that it's the hardest pitch to hit in baseball, especially if it's a good one, coming out of the same arm slot as the fastball. Everyone says that just that speed differential and the kind of life that it can have really makes it a nasty pitch. My teammates say it's the hardest pitch to hit if a pitcher has a good one.
I agree with that. A good changeup can be the difference between honestly a World Series at times.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Devin Williams last year, right? The Brewers reliever. I'm sure you've heard of him. I think Pitching Ninja calls him the airbender, right? Because his changeup's dancing all over the place. He is one of the best in the whole league.
He does have a good one. So, how hard do you throw on those pitches that you do?
My fastball ranges anywhere from like 92 to 95. My slider can be anywhere from 82 to 85. And my changeup is anywhere from 84 to 87. So I got a pretty good mix of pitches, but something I want to improve on is taking some velocity off my changeup so it looks way different than my fastball. Because sometimes if your changeup is too firm and it's similar to your fastball, if it was a little slower, maybe you would get a swing and a miss. But since it's similar to that fastball speed, they might be able to put it in play and hit a flare base hit or a hard ground ball. So definitely trying to avoid bats and avoid barrels whenever I can.
That makes a lot of sense. And what is the greatest aspect of your own Jay?
I think I'm a good strike thrower. I always give the team a chance to win. I have the ability to pitch deep into games, and something that I've been doing a better job of, especially becoming a pro with the Indians, is starting to strike some guys out. My strikeout numbers aren't super crazy, but they're definitely better than what they used to be when I was in college and in high school. So I'm definitely happy to see that progression as well. But I think just being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates, and whenever it's my turn to pitch, just giving it my best effort. The team can always rely on me to give my best effort and put us in the best spot to win.
That's super cool. I think that just the best you can do is to help your team and just give it your all.
Definitely. Yeah. If you're not giving it your all, then, your team's going to see that and they're not going to want to be they're not going to want you around. So that's always number one, give it your all whenever you get the chance to compete.
I agree. I agree with that a lot. Why do you love baseball?
I love baseball because the game is so complex. We take so much time in to prepare for like a 3-hour game. And then if it doesn't go well, you get up the next morning and get to play again. It's not like football where, you play one game a week and then you prepare all week for the next game. I love that baseball gives us the opportunity to, either build and build and build, or, if one game isn't so great, coming back the next day, trying to hit the refresh button and then going from there. I think baseball is just so complex. It's such a game that really challenges your mind. And I love that about baseball because it always kind of humbles you too. Like even when you think you're in a really, really good spot and you're riding a hot streak, all of a sudden if you get off your routine, or you think you're too comfortable and you're just going to coast for a little bit, the game always finds a way to remind you, hey, there's no coasting in baseball. You got to be giving it your all the time.
I fully agree. That's one of the big reasons is why I love baseball. Is like you can't really make a full like career out of baseball. Like in basketball, you could be solid. Like you can make like in baseball to like be at the highest level, you have to be competing every day. Well,
Oh
in
yeah,
basketball, like there's more willingly to not be like you can have off weeks and it'd be fine. But in baseball, you gotta give it your all, especially as a pitcher.
definitely. I mean, I think pitching is tough to like survive that long season and like really have a good year, because pitching is, all we do is pitch to hitters and try to get guys out. Where position players, you have the chance to be really good on defense, really good on offense, a really good base runner, these different aspects of the game. That pitching is so singular, so focused on just one thing, getting hitters out, that, if you're in a little bit of a rut, it could take a toll on you.
I fully agree with that. So the next question is, what is the best advice you have for someone trying to follow their dreams?
Well, that's a great question. I'm a big dreamer. I think not listening to people who say, no, you can't, you're not cut out for this, that's always a great place to start. And then if someone really wants to follow their dream, I think it's important that they make a plan and they follow a plan on how they're going to achieve their goals. So if it's a high school guy that wants to make the varsity team for the first time, how's he going to do that? Is he going to train hard? Is he going to practice? Is he going to be working with a coach? What is he going to be doing to improve his game? And, just really keeping himself accountable too. I like to write things down. I have a journal where I keep a bunch of notes on how I'm feeling, how I plan out an off season, what some of my goals are. So just really keeping yourself accountable and then not listening to people who want to beat you down and, tell you can't, because you certainly can if you put your mind to it, you put in the work, and you have a great plan.
That's really good advice, and I firmly agree that it's just not to listen to people who don't believe in you. Just honestly, if you do, like when you hear, just let that motivate you more. Is what I do. Is when I if someone doesn't think I can do it, it just motivates me more.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to be like the next big podcast, right? You're not going to let anybody get in your way. So that's what it's all about, persevering, dealing with a little bit of adversity if some comes your way, and just trying to get 1% better each day. Because over time, a whole year is 365 days. If we can get 1% better each day, all that added up, that's a lot of improvement. And you're gonna be seeing those good results in whatever you're trying to accomplish.
I really agree with that. That was very good advice.
Cool.
What is it like living so many kids' dreams being a pro baseball player?
I count my blessings every day that I get to be a pro baseball player. It's definitely what I dreamed of as a kid. I remember telling people like, "Oh, I want to, chase the dream and become a big leaguer," and they were saying, "Oh, yeah, good luck. Nobody, only a small, very few amount of people get to do it." But I didn't let that get in the way, and I'm enjoying every moment of being a professional baseball player. From the off season to the travel to the staying in maybe not so nice hotels all the time. Like I just love everything about it, and you only get an opportunity like this, maybe once or twice in your career. So I'm really trying to make the most of it right now. Be a great teammate, apply a lot of my resources and my time into becoming a best player I can for myself, and then also a great teammate for the rest of the Indians organization.
It's
So
super
really,
cool.
really just embracing this opportunity and trying to make the absolute most of it, because it's such a cool thing that I get to do.
It is super cool. I know when I was younger, it was my dream too, and then now my dream is to be either like a broadcaster or a sports anchor for baseball.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could totally see you doing that.
Thank you, thank you. If you could change one thing about baseball, what would it be?
That's a good question too. I think something that I don't like about baseball right now is that how TV games are blacked out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means? So it's like your local game. Right now I live in Texas. So if I wanted to watch the Rangers play and they're on one of the big channels, I can't just turn on the channel and have the Rangers on. So I want everyone to have access to watch baseball and help grow the game that way. Because I think,
Mm-hmm.
especially the young guys growing up who want to be, future big leaguers and future pro players, they got to have access to watching the game and like really seeing pitch by pitch, like what's going on, so they can learn as they go. And I think that MLB could do a little bit better of a job of supplying that access to, TV games and other things just to help grow the game. So, we have guys who want to be big leaguers still, and not everybody wants to be an NBA player or an NFL player or something different. We need a lot of guys who want to grow the game of baseball so we can, flourish for years and years to come.
I agree. I think that it could be easier to access games. I mean, I was born in Chicago, so I'm a big Cubs fan.
Cool.
I mainly watch games on MLB Network because I'm able to have that.
Right. But not
But if I
everyone
want to
can.
have
So
that, if I want to have MLB Network, I wouldn't really be able to watch very many games.
yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky to have it here at the house too. But when I don't have access to it, I'm always trying to find like a stream online, or trying to use one of my friends MLB.TV's account. So it's just really hard to find some games to watch sometimes. And
Hmm.
when we love baseball, we want to be watching as much as we can. So that's what I'd like to change about the game. make it a little more accessible for everyone, and so those young guys and girls who love the game can watch whenever they want.
I fully agree. I think it could be a little easier. What is a pitch that you want to learn how to throw?
So I know earlier I said I'm working on my changeup a lot. I think a cool pitch that I see a lot of guys throwing these days is a cutter. Mariano Rivera had an amazing cutter. There's a lot of guys right now that are developing a cutter and using it just to change, just as another look for the hitter. They don't always expect a big swing and miss with it, but what a cutter's really good at is not always missing the whole bat, but missing the sweet spot of the barrel. So you get that weak contact, which can, turn a double play behind you or get yourself out of a big jam. So I think over time, if I'm able to, and I think there's room in my delivery and my repertoire to develop a cutter, I definitely want to give it a try because I see a lot of guys having success with it right now.
Again, I was never really a pitcher, but in MLB The Show, Cutter is one of my favorite pitchers to go to.
Yeah, sounds like cutter and changeups. Everyone who's going to play Justin in the show, watch out. Cutters and changeups coming your way.
Yep. It's mainly only those. I don't throw very many fastballs.
Yeah, well, we all know fastballs get crushed if they're over the middle, so got to be
Yep.
careful.
You do with those. What is your biggest plan to improve your game this year?
This year, my off season, I've really been working on my body, working on, trying to be really powerful in the weight room. Um, Always trying to clean up my mechanics too, being more efficient. I want to try to get the most out of my body, so my body does a lot of the work, and it's not always on my arm when I'm throwing. I want everything to be synced up together so it can all work together, and I can use, the big muscles like in the legs and in the upper back to everything works together. And I think that's just something that comes with a lot of time and you put the effort in to really learn how your body works and then, relate it to how your mechanics work and to how your pitches work. It's all a domino effect. So definitely trying to get a lot stronger, work on my flexibility and mobility in the weight room, and see how that's going to improve my performance, this coming season.
Yeah, that sounds like a great thing that could easily elevate your game.
Definitely.
What motivates you to keep going every day?
Motivation is huge in baseball, especially during an off season and especially during like a crazy time in the world like we have now with the COVID-19 virus impacting baseball. I wasn't able to play a minor league season last year in 2020. I was just training, as much as I could, trying to make it work. Talking to local high school coaches and saying, "Hey, can we use your field for live at bats and to play some sim games?" Really just trying to make it work because I didn't want to feel like I lost a year of development. A lot of people say, minor leaguers, oh, they didn't get to play in 2020. They lost a year of development. And I tried to say, that's maybe what people are saying, but I want to make sure that I do everything that I can to make sure that I still am on track and moving in the right direction. I didn't want to feel like I just had a wasted year. So I was definitely motivated to, lift hard, get all my throwing in, connect with my coaches as much as I could and improve. So when we got to a normal season again, like how we hope to do this year, I can show them all that hard work that I put in.
That's super cool. That's super. Yeah, I feel like I have heard people saying like that minor leaguers have lost development, but I don't believe that at all because I follow a lot of prospects who I think are major, and then like I've seen all of them walking in their own way, and then when I've done interviews with other prospects, they're all saying that they've been trying to do the same as you. So I definitely don't think anyone's lost uh a year of development, at least with the people I've seen and talked to.
Yeah, I mean, we just got it's in our power to make it happen if we want to make it happen. You just have to dig a little deeper, go the extra mile to maybe organize like a bunch of guys that come together so you can have a good workout, throw to some hitters, find catchers, find a batting cage, whatever it is, because we're used to having all the resources at our spring training complexes or at our affiliate. So it just, required us to be a little more creative and to make it happen for us this past 2020. So, we could show up to spring training this year and have a good, strong season.
I agree. I definitely feel like a lot of people have just kept to develop and not taking the year off. If you could tell your 10-year-old, no, sorry, if you could tell your 15-year-old self some one thing, what would that one thing be?
Mm. I would tell my 15-year-old self to factor in recovery into my routine, meaning, don't play catch with all your friends like 4 or 5 times a day. Don't let your high school coaches and your travel ball coaches make you pitch like twice a weekend, because I've found myself, struggling a little bit to stay healthy sometimes. And I think it's because some of those habits that I created and some of that maybe overuse and overthrowing that I was doing when I was younger, I find it coming a little bit later down the road and impacting my career now. So if I was, really taking care of my arm and my body then, I would be in so much of a better situation now. And, I definitely can do everything I can now to make sure I'm feeling in tip top shape. But if I was doing it then, who knows, I could be feeling really, really good all the time and maybe not having days where my arm's barking a little bit or I'm sore or this and that. So just really telling myself, hey, you got to take care of this arm, you got to take care of the body. And these travel ball games, like you want to win all these tournaments and this and that, but nothing's going to matter if you really want to be healthy, feeling good, and catch up on your sleep, eat the right foods, drink a lot of water, like all those things just to really take care of yourself. I think I could have done a better job of that when I was a bit younger.
That makes sense. I definitely feel like that could impact someone's career later on. So the final question I have is, if a fan were to send you a card, would you sign it and send it back?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Whenever someone reaches out to sign a card, I definitely try to have them send it my way so I can sign and get it back to them. I know a lot of people like to collect. I like to collect too. Actually, I have my super fractor is right next to me. I got the one of one for Christmas from my fiance this year, so I was pretty pumped about that. Here, I'll even show you.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I got my super fractor right there. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it solidly. That's
Yeah.
super cool. I mean, I'm a big collector myself, so I try and collect as many cards as I can as well. So that's super cool.
Yeah, definitely open to sign anytime. What cards are you going after these days?
I was born in Chicago, as I said, so I PC the Cubs, but I live in Seattle now, so I also PC the Mariners. But what I've been trying to do is I try and get an auto of everyone I interview.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, if you ever want to send a card or, we'll make it work. I'll definitely sign for you.
That I would love that.
Yeah, you got it, man. Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on as well. It's been really fun talking with you.
Yeah, Justin, you got it, man. Wish you the best with the growing the podcast, and hope you get all those cards you want too.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck to you making it to the majors in the next few years.
Absolutely. Yeah, hope we get to do this again soon.
Hopefully. Thank you for coming on again. It means a lot.
You got it, man.